Let me tell you something most people will never say out loud. You are being evaluated right now. In every room you walk into, every conversation you join, every pause where nothing is said, someone is assessing your value. This is not cruelty. It is reality. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you stop being ignored and start becoming respected. Machiavelli understood this more than 500 years ago. The world does not reward good intentions. It rewards value. Clear, undeniable, irreplaceable value. You are either useful or unseen. You are either needed or forgotten. There is no comfortable middle. So the choice is yours. Continue moving through life unaware, hoping others will notice your potential. Or wake up, sharpen yourself into something impossible to dismiss, and learn the old discipline of becoming untouchable. This is where it begins. The uncomfortable truth about your worth. Here is a truth that will sting. No one truly cares about your struggles. No one owes you recognition. The world is not your parent. It will not protect you, soothe you, or reward you simply for existing. Your value is not defined by your emotions, your hopes, or the years you spent working quietly. Your value is defined by one thing alone: what you provide that cannot be easily replaced. This is the hard arithmetic of power. Machiavelli wrote that people judge by what they see. They notice outcomes, not intentions. They respect strength, not unrealized promise. You may have strong morals, but if you cannot show value, you remain invisible. And invisible men do not rise. They do not earn respect. They do not create lasting impact. They blend into the crowd, wondering how life passed them by. Stop asking what you deserve. Start asking what you contribute. This is not cynicism. This is clarity. The moment you understand that, everything begins to change. Your value is a product, something you build, refine, and present with intention. When you understand this, everything shifts. You stop asking for attention. You begin to command it. You stop chasing opportunities. They start coming to you. This is the line between the desperate and the dominant. The desperate wait to be chosen. The dominant make themselves impossible to ignore. So examine yourself with honest precision. What skills do you have that others truly need? What knowledge do you hold that solves real problems? What presence do you bring that makes people pause when you speak? If you cannot answer these questions, then there is work to be done. Not tomorrow, not next month, now. Because every day you remain average is a day you give power to someone more driven than you. And there is always someone more driven. Scarcity is the first law of power. Diamonds are not valuable because they look good. They are valuable because they are rare. Gold is not respected because it shines, but because it is difficult to obtain. This is the first rule of power that most men never learn. Scarcity creates value. Abundance erodes it. If you are always available, always eager, always agreeing, you make yourself ordinary. And ordinary things are treated as disposable. Machiavelli observed that rulers who gave too freely lost the respect of their people. The same principle applies to you. When you give yourself without strategy, you weaken your own worth. You become the person people contact only when it suits them. The backup option. The safe choice. Never the priority. Learn to pull back. Learn to be selective with your time, your energy, and your presence. This is not manipulation. It is an understanding of human behavior at its core. People desire what is not easily accessible. They pursue what creates distance. They focus on what remains undefined. When you become scarce, something instinctive is triggered in others. Your attention becomes valuable. Your approval gains weight. Your absence creates a gap that others try to fill. This is influence without force, power without pressure. Begin applying this now. Do not reply to every message immediately. Do not accept every invitation out of obligation. Do not justify yourself to everyone who asks. Allow uncertainty. Allow distance. Let people recognize that your time is limited and access to you must be earned. The man who is everywhere is valued nowhere. But the man who appears with purpose, who speaks selectively, who acts with intent, becomes magnetic. That man becomes untouchable. Be rare. Be necessary. Be difficult to replace. Silence is a weapon. Weak men speak to avoid silence. Strong men use silence to command space. There is an old truth. The loudest voice is rarely the most powerful. The one who observes quietly, who watches and calculates, is the one to respect. Machiavelli understood that words can be weapons, but silence is a fortress. When you speak less, you expose less. When you expose less, you become harder to predict. And what cannot be predicted cannot be controlled. This is the psychology of dominance that most never understand. They talk to reveal insecurity. They share plans without restraint. They give their opponents a clear view of their weaknesses. Do not do this. Learn restraint. When someone provokes you, do not respond immediately. Let the silence sit. Observe the discomfort they created. When asked for your opinion, pause. Let others wait. Let your words carry weight. This is controlled presence. This is psychological gravity. You are teaching the world that your words are rare and therefore valuable. Every word should be deliberate. Every sentence should have purpose. Anything less is loss. Anything less is weakness disguised as openness. Silence also guards you from your own impulses. Anger urges reaction. Fear pushes explanation. Ego demands validation. The disciplined man allows none of these to control his speech. He breathes. He watches. He responds only when it benefits him. This is not coldness. This is strategy. The world will test you with noise, chaos, and provocation. Your silence is your defense. Your words, when used, are precise. Competence matters more than charisma. Charisma fades. Competence accumulates. Too many men chase charm when they should be pursuing mastery. They want to impress socially when they should be formidable professionally. Understand this clearly. The world is full of smooth talkers who collapse under pressure. It is full of pleasant personalities that deliver no results. They are forgotten as soon as they leave the room. But the person who solves problems, who produces outcomes, who does what others cannot, that person is remembered. That person is sought after. That person sets the terms. Machiavelli advised that leaders should be both loved and feared. If forced to choose, he advised fear. In modern terms, this means choosing respect over approval. Results over likability. Competence earns a level of respect charisma alone never achieves. So stop refining your image and start strengthening your abilities. Become so effective at one thing that your presence cannot be dismissed. This is real leverage. When you hold knowledge others need, you stop asking for chances, you offer them. When you execute at a level others cannot reach, you stop competing and begin deciding. This path demands sacrifice. It requires long hours of unseen effort. It demands choosing discipline over distraction again and again. But this is the cost of power. Every master began as a beginner. Every expert started uninformed. The difference is simple. They continued when others stopped. Choose one skill the world rewards deeply, and pursue it with focused intensity. Read relentlessly. Practice without compromise. Fail often. Adjust without mercy. While others spend years being average at many things, you will become outstanding at one. That single advantage will open doors that remain closed to ordinary men. Emotional detachment. Your emotions are not allies. They are instruments. And like any instrument, they must be directed by the one holding them, not the other way around. Most men are ruled by how they feel. Anger takes over their speech. Fear freezes their choices. Excitement pushes them to reveal too much too quickly. These men are transparent, easy to read, easy to influence, easy to defeat. Machiavelli observed that those who cannot rule themselves will always be ruled by others. This is the unfiltered truth of power. The moment you react emotionally, you give control to the person who provoked you. The moment you display desperation, you broadcast weakness to anyone watching. Emotional detachment does not mean becoming cold or mechanical. It means owning your inner world. Train yourself to pause before responding. When anger rises, slow your breath. When fear appears, notice it without following it. When someone tries to provoke you, remain calm, knowing they have already failed. Your expression should reveal nothing. Your voice should stay even. Your posture should communicate steady authority, even when pressure builds inside. This is the posture of power. This is how leaders act while others collapse. You will be tested constantly. People will insult you to see if you react. They will praise you to see if you weaken. They will introduce disorder to see if you lose control. Pass these tests by remaining composed. Detachment also means releasing attachment to outcomes. Work with intensity, but never cling to results with neediness. The man who depends on a specific outcome becomes vulnerable through that dependence. The man who can walk away from anything fears nothing. This is freedom. This is strength. Feel fully, but let nothing command you. Be like water. Calm at the surface, deep beneath, and impossible to hold. Strategic relationships. You are shaped by the people you spend the most time with. This is not motivation. It is reality. Your circle either lifts you or drags you down. There is no neutral zone. Machiavelli studied alliances, betrayals, and loyalty in depth. He understood that relationships are exchanges layered with emotion. That may sound harsh, but ignoring it does not change it. Every person in your life is either an asset, a liability, or irrelevant. Accepting this truth stops you from bleeding energy into connections that give nothing back. Look carefully at those around you. Who drains you? Who doubts you? Who quietly enjoys your setbacks? These are weights disguised as companions. Release them or let them pull you under. But removal is only part of the strategy. Strategic relationships also mean choosing the right people. Seek those ahead of you. Seek those who challenge your thinking and widen your perspective. Seek those driven by ambition, discipline, and hunger. These relationships sharpen you. Iron sharpens iron. Mediocrity dulls everything it touches. Place yourself near excellence, momentum, and power. Proximity alone teaches lessons books cannot. But never approach these relationships empty-handed. Offer value before seeking benefit. Be useful before asking for access. The powerful do not tolerate parasites. They keep allies. Make yourself an ally worth keeping. Understand this as well. Loyalty is rare. Most men are loyal only to their interests. This is not bitterness. It is observation. Do not resent it. Count for it. Trust should be given slowly and tested under pressure. Withdraw it quickly when broken. Guard your inner circle fiercely, but never allow nostalgia to blind you to betrayal. Circumstances change, and so do people. Watch patterns, not promises. Words are cheap. Behavior reveals truth. Learn strategic distance. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, plans, or vulnerabilities. Maintain outer circles for networking. Keep inner circles small and protected. The man who trusts everyone is eventually used by everyone. But the man who builds his network with care, who gives wisely and guards firmly, becomes a fortress surrounded by chosen allies. This is how power is preserved. This is how legacies endure. The art of walking away. The strongest position in any negotiation, relationship, or situation is the ability to leave. This is the final option most men never develop because they are too attached, too fearful, too unwilling to start again. But understand this clearly. The man who cannot leave will always be controlled. Machiavelli wrote of rulers who lost everything because they held onto alliances that no longer served them. They feared loss more than they valued freedom and became prisoners of their attachments. Do not repeat that error. Your willingness to walk away is not cruelty. It is self-respect. It signals that you value yourself more than any single opportunity, person, or result. And paradoxically, this is what makes others value you more. Reflect carefully. When you negotiate from need, you accept less. When you remain in relationships where you are disrespected, you teach others to disrespect you further. When you stay in work that drains and underpays you, you declare your time worthless. Every moment you tolerate situations beneath your value, you vote against yourself. You tell the world you do not expect better, and the world agrees. It always does. But the moment you gain the strength to leave, dynamics shift. Suddenly a raise appears when you resign. Suddenly attention follows when you stop chasing. Suddenly doors open when you stop forcing the wrong ones. This is not chance. This is leverage. And leverage belongs to those willing to lose in order to gain. Build your ability to walk away by creating options. Never rely on a single income. Never depend on one person for fulfillment. Never tie your identity to one role or title. Spread your foundations so no single loss can break you. A man with options moves differently. He speaks differently. He negotiates differently. He does not beg because he does not have to. He chooses because he can. This is not arrogance. It is structure. You are designing a life where you are never trapped, never cornered, never desperate. Practice leaving small things first. Exit conversations that waste time. Decline invitations that drain energy. Refuse requests that conflict with your priorities. Each small exit strengthens your ability for the larger ones you will eventually face. When those moments arrive, when you must leave a career, a partnership, a phase of life, you will not hesitate. You will move forward without regret, understanding the truth Machiavelli knew well. Those who cannot release the old will never create the new. Those who cling too tightly always lose. Those who master walking away become free, and free men cannot be controlled. Reputation as currency. Your reputation enters every room before you do. It speaks when you are silent. It works while you sleep. It opens doors you never knocked on and closes others you never saw. Machiavelli called reputation the foundation of power, and he was right. In a world where perception often outweighs reality, your image is your most valuable asset. Guard it fiercely. Build it deliberately. Allow no one to damage it without consequence. Most men treat their reputation carelessly. They gossip. They break promises. They associate without thought. Then they wonder why opportunities disappear. They fail to realize their name has lost weight in rooms they have never entered. Information spreads. People remember. And once a reputation is damaged, repairing it can take years. Some damage never fades. Decide now what you want to be known for. Power respects clarity. Choose 3 traits that define your public identity and let every action reinforce them. If reliability is 1, never miss a commitment. If strength is 1, never tolerate disrespect. If excellence is 1, never deliver average work. Consistency builds reputation. One strong action means nothing if followed by repeated carelessness. People trust patterns. They believe trajectories. Show them the same standard every time until your name becomes linked to your chosen traits. This is branding in its most basic form. You are the product. Your reputation is the signal. Make it unmistakable. Protect your reputation decisively when required. Do not allow false narratives to spread unchecked. Do not let small slights accumulate into perceived weakness. Address threats early and clearly. Machiavelli warned that injuries should be avoided entirely or answered fully. Half measures invite repeat attacks. When someone damages your name, respond with strategy, not emotion, restoring your position and discouraging future challenges. Silence is not always strength. Sometimes it signals permission. Know when to speak. Also consider who you are seen with. Association shapes perception. Stand with those who succeed and their credibility reflects on you. Stand with fools and their failures follow you. Be selective about who represents you publicly. This is not vanity. It is survival. Public judgment is fast and forgiving only with effort. Give it evidence that supports your rise. Control the story. Shape the image. Leave nothing to chance. Reputation compounds. Every promise kept adds weight. Every result delivered builds trust. Every year of consistent execution multiplies your influence. Patient men become legends. Reckless men become warnings. Choose carefully, because your name will echo long after your voice is gone. Make that echo strong. Make it undeniable. The transformation starts now. You have heard the principles. You understand the strategy. But knowledge without action has no value. Information without execution is just noise. You are not here to be entertained. You are here to change. So ask yourself honestly, what will you do tomorrow that you did not do yesterday? What weakness will you face? What skill will you sharpen? What relationship will you reassess? What silence will you practice? What boundary will you enforce? These are not abstract questions. They define the gap between who you are and who you could become. Machiavelli wrote for those willing to act, not those who prefer comfort. Be that person now. Change begins with the next decision you make. Transformation is not one moment. It is a sequence of choices repeated until they become character. You will not wake up powerful tomorrow. You will wake up more aware, more disciplined, more deliberate. And those small gains, compounded over time, will build a version of you that today's version cannot imagine. There are no shortcuts. The secret is consistency. The secret is execution when motivation disappears. The secret is choosing the harder path until it becomes natural. Most will hear this and feel inspired briefly, then return to old habits. Do not be most. Be the exception. Be the one who rises while others sink. The world will resist you. Comfort will tempt you. Failure will challenge you. Ignore them. These pressures shape strong men. Every obstacle is training. Every setback is instruction. Carry yourself with intent. Speak carefully. Move with purpose. Guard your time. Protect your name. Define your value. Control your response. Refuse to let the past define you. You are not your mistakes. You are the force moving toward mastery, freedom, and control. Claim it fully. If this message reached you, mark it. Write in the comments, "I am becoming untouchable." Let that be your first public commitment. Support the work by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone ready to rise. We are building disciplined minds here. A community of men who think strategically and act deliberately. You are part of it now. This is your beginning.